Coach, just kind of first thing I have to ask about, just an update on Rod and Make.
Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of sorting through the process, right? When I have some information, I'll kind of update you. But, they're out here right now learning and getting better, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there.
Juice players of the day today?
Well, Juice, I mean, this guy was unblockable. I mean, just flat out unblockable. He's done a smart job pulling off it, but was BJ. I mean, he's had such a great offseason. He's been healthy for the first time since I've been here, and I'm just ready for him to be just a wrecking ball, right? And I think he's ready for his best football. And the other one, it wasn't because of any play, right? It was about his leadership ability that we've been working on really since the offseason. Was Cam Ward. The 2nd and 10 play it scenario, I thought the defense held the upper hand, and he had an opportunity over that break to instill some leadership, and I thought that's exactly what he did. So proud of Cam. He's growing in the right direction there, and the team had his full attention.
There's been a lot of guys kind of mixing in, it seems like, but who do you kind of think are some of the leads right now to be the gunners on special teams?
Oh, a lot of guys. Hopefully a lot of those guys that have some speed guys. Even some young guys. Javen Robinson, like how can he contribute and do some of those deals? I think Shaw's unblockable. Lincoln, once he gets fully going, will be back to being that type of guy. But on our punt scheme, those guys got to be wrecking shop down the field. So we'll see kind of how camp goes.
I think I asked you this on day one, but we'll kind of circle back to it now that you've been through half a week, I guess I should say.
Yep.
One or two freshmen, again, that maybe has really impressed you now through 4 days?
Well, I would say on the defensive side of the ball, it's real easy is Rashad McKenzie. I think he looks the part. He's physical. He's using his hands. He's been disruptive. That's the way they need to be. And just excited about his progress. And I thought just coming from an edge player in high school to the inside in tight confined spaces that it would take him a little bit longer to get comfortable. But, man, he's looking really, really good. The other one that continues to pop is Leighton Smithson. We originally thought when we took him, we just knew he'd be an athlete and maybe make him into a safety. It's one of the best choices I've made watching him out there. He's explosive, he can run, and his catching ability has far exceeded all of our expectations. So, look for those two to have an impact as we go throughout the season.
Who from the tight end room is maybe starting or solidify themselves or starting to come up?
Yeah, I mean, those are something as we go throughout padded practices I really want to see, So Cam Johnson gives us some versatility. He's used to playing out in space. I think Billy Revere has been more of our hammer guy. Andre Dollar's continuing to, impress and get better, and we need to see him take another step. So it's one thing, Colin, as we go throughout camp that we really need to solidify and are waiting just for one of those guys as we get more reps to establish, who wants to take over that top tight end position.
Jalen Jenkins seems to just get better each day. What can you say about him, and has he pushed himself into contention?
Absolutely, because I think he's picked it up way faster, than anyone's thought. And I think that's Coach Atawaya putting him in the fire too. Like he's taking a lot of reps through the first 4 days so he can learn. But you see it when he hits that hole, it's different. And he's been a real good spark plug. And I think, like I said, he can bring a little thunder and lightning to that room that I think is really needed. But we're going to continue to feed Jalen through a fire hose and get him a lot of reps. He'll take a lot of, in scrimmage one, he'll take a lot of those reps so we can really see what he can do. But when he hits that hole, man, there's no hesitation, and it's fun to watch.
What'd you like from the defensive line in particular today? It seemed like guys like Brennan Jackson were really, pressuring, putting some pressure.
I think it's been the first 2 days really in pads that, their mentality. They come out here in pads and they know one way, and it's full throttle. And that's the way you need it to be, right? We've talked a lot in the last couple of days, trust me, guys, about being mature competitors, right? Mature competitors stay on your feet while they're playing at a really, really high speed. And, I think they wreck shop today, but I think it's also a learning time for our offensive line, right, to grow and get better. But, Nusi Milani on the inside gives us something we haven't had in the first 2 years. It's great to see Christian back. Our edge players, I think, are right where we expected them to be. So let's continue to keep growing. And where can that room take it? Because I think our defense will go as they go.
A lot of rotational depth at defensive tackle, but Is anybody kind of established as maybe a vocal leader among all those returners you guys got?
I mean, it's an interesting group. It's funny how you see the dynamics change, and Nusi coming in is probably the strongest leader, right? Pule is probably the most consistent, right? So it's amazing how that room works, and they all have their own different personalities. And like I said, this time last year, we were talking about just big question marks out of that group. right? Now they're established, they have game reps, and they are competing, to see who's going to be out there. And I'm confident in what that room can do. So the conversation has completely changed in 365 days.
I got to ask you, have maybe an update on Ram?
I don't know. It just happened today, kind of around a pile deal. We'll see kind of as the week goes.